Good morning class. Today in this lecture we are going to discuss the next point in our fifth chapter, that is generations of mobile telephone system and the MAC sublayer. The cellular concept of using the same frequency at different places was introduced by MacDonald in 1979, and the next evolutionary steps begin in the early 1980s with the deployment of the first generation analog networks based on the frequency division multiplexing. Let us see the generations of mobile telephone system. First of all, the first generation, which is an analog voice. The first generation of mobile phone system was introduced in the 1980s. And in 1G, narrowband analog wireless network is used. Here in the 1G system, narrowband analog wireless network is used. With this, we have the voice calls and can send the messages. Means here 1G provides the services, that is voice calls and the SMS. Circuit switcher technology is used for the 1G systems. Means here circuit switcher technology or mechanism is used in 1G with the FDMA, means frequency division multiplexing access method, as an air channel multiple access techniques, and worked manually mainly in the 800 to 900 megahertz frequency band. With the 800 and 900 megahertz frequency band it is worked, means FDMA is worked. The 1G mobile phone had only the voice facility, means voice and SMS. These services are provided in a 1G technology. Let us see advantages of 1G. It reduces the noise in line, consumes less battery power, and limitations of 1G is the poor quality voice. Means poor voice quality, large phone size, the size of the phone is large, supports only speech. It supports or facilitate, means it provides only the speech service. Long call setup time. When we call from one user to another user, the long call setup time is there, so that it is the limitations, means disadvantages of 1G mobile telephone system. Next is the second generation. Second generation is a digital voice. Means in a second generation system are digital cellular system and are introduced in the 1980s and were used in a till late 1990s. 2G supports the data, speech, fax, SMS and the web services, means wireless access protocol services. Here 1G only provides or supports the data and SMS, but 2G technology supports the data plus speech plus fax, SMS and the web services. The frequency band used by the GSM are the 890, means 890 to 916 megahertz. For this frequency band, the 890, that is 890 to 915 megahertz is dedicated to uplink communication, means from MS means mobile station, to the base station, and the band that is 935 to 960 megahertz is used for downlink from the BS, that is base station, to the MS, means mobile station. 2G is divided into the two standards, namely that is TDMA and the code division multiple access, means CDMA. Features of the 2G: it enables services such as text messages and the MMS, means it provides the services that is SMS and MMS, multimedia messages. It provides the better quality and services. It provides the better quality and services as compared to 1G. The limitations of 2G is it provides the low data rates ranging from 9.6 kbps to 28.8 kbps. Means 2G is a digital voice communication technique or the generation. This is the second generation digital voice technique. Here in this technique multiple access uses that is the FDMA, TDMA and CDMA. It uses the 890 to 915 megahertz dedicated link for the uplink, and 935 to 960 megahertz is used for the downlink communication, and it supports the data, speech, fax, SMS and map services. Next point is the third generation, 2.5 generation, which is in between second generation and the third generation mobile technology. Here 2.5G is the second and the half generation used to describe the 2G systems that have implemented a packet switched domain in addition to the circuit switched domain. Here in the circuit switched domain, we only communicate, means it only supports the voice communication. But in a packet switched domain, it supports the data, means we use the internet services. The need for the increased throughput data rates in a data transfer such as the web browsing and the email led to evolution of 2.5 generation, which is between 2 and the third generation. It is in between second and the third generation. The mobile technology using the GPRS standard. Second generation uses the GSM standard, but 2.5 means the second and half generation uses the GPRS standard that has been termed as a 2.5G. Let us see the features of 2.5G. Phone calls, it sends and receives the emails. Web browsing means we search the internet, we access the internet, and speed up to 64 to 144 kbps. Next point is the third generation, which is supports the digital voice and the data. This 3G refers to the third generation of the development in wireless technology and the need for the high-speed internet access, live video communication, and simultaneously data and voice transmission led to the transmission of a 3G cellular networks. Here in a 3G we access or 3G supports or provides the high-speed internet access, live video communication, and simultaneously we can send the data, means sends the data as well as we make a call, means voice transmission. Both simultaneously we perform the both operations, that is data and the voice, which is led to the transmission of a 3G network. The 3G technology has added multimedia facility to the 2.5G phones by allowing video, audio and graphic applications. It provides the high transmission rates from 348 kbps in moving vehicles and 2 Mbps for the stationary mobile users. In the mobiles, it is a transmission rate up to 2 Mbps and 348 in a moving vehicles. It supports the FDD, means frequency division duplexer, and the time division duplexer modes. Okay, drawbacks of a 3G is high bandwidth requirement for the communication. High bandwidth requirement is there, and high prices of 3G mobile services is the drawback or limitations of a third generation. Let us see next point, that is fourth generation. 4G is 2030, evolved in 2030, and it is a high speed data rate plus the voice system. Means the 4G mobile communication will have transmission rates up to 20 Mbps, higher than that of a 3G. And 4G technology expected to provide very smooth global roaming universal with a lower cost. Theoretically, 4G is said to deliver 100 Mbps to a roaming mobile devices globally and up to 1 Gbps to the stationary devices. Features of 4G is it supports the interactive multimedia, voice and streaming video, internet and other broadband services. 4G is a IP based mobile system and it has a high speed, high capacity and low cost per bit. 4G has a global access, service portability and scalable mobile services. Okay, this is the features of a 4G mobile system. Next point is these are the history or the comparison of all the generations up to 4 generation. Or we can say that it is a history of 1G, 2G, 3G and 4G technologies, or the comparison of 1G, 2G, 2.5G, 3G and 4G technology. The design begin for the first generation, that is 1970s. For the second generation it is for the 1980s. For the 2.5 generation that is 1985, and the third generation that is 1990s, and for the fourth generation that is 2000. Here it is implemented, first generation is implemented in 1984, second it is implemented in 1991, 2.5 it is implemented in 1990, third generation it is implemented in 2002, and the fourth generation it is implemented from 2012 to 2015. The services provided by the first generation, that is analog voice, means analog voice. Second, which is a digital voice. 2.5 generation, which provides the higher capacity packets, means it provides the data, and the MMS means multimedia services. Here third generation is a higher capacity broadband data, means internet access. It provides the internet access. Fourth generation is also provides the multimedia, higher capacity internet access, and the multimedia. It supports the multimedia. Standard for the first generation, that is AMPS, means Advanced Mobile Phone Service, is a standard system for the analog signal in a cellular telephone service. Next is a second generation standard, that is CDMA, that is Code Division Multiple Access, and the GSM, Global System for Mobile Communication, which is a digital voice standard. Next is a GPRS, means General Packet Radio System, which provides the data services. Third generation, that is WCDMA, means Wide Range Code Division Multiple Access, and CDMA 2000. It supports these two standards. And the fourth generation, that is a single standard. The bandwidth of the first generation, that is 1.9 kbps. For the second generation, that is 14.4 kbps. Bandwidth for 2.5G, that is 384 kbps. For the third generation, 2 Mbps, and the fourth generation, that is 200 Mbps. Core networks of these generations are the PS10 for the 1G network, 1G first generation, that is PS10, means public switched telephone network. For the second generation, the core network is a PSTN, but for the 2.5 generation, it is PSTN and the packet network. And for the third generation, it is a packet network, is the core network, and for the fourth generation, it is the internet as a core network. This is the history of the various generations or various technologies. Let us see the next point, that is VoLTE and its a feature. VoLTE means Voice over Long-Term Evaluation, is a standard for high-speed wireless communication for the mobile phones and the data terminals, including IoT, means Internet of Things devices, and the wearables. It is based on the IP Multimedia Subsystem, that is IMS network, with a specific profile for the control and the media plans of the voice service on a LTE, means long-term evaluation, defined by the GSMA, means Global System for Mobile Association. Voice over LTE aims to provide the ability to handle cellular voice calls over the LTE, means long-term evaluation. The features of VoLTE: setup of transmission path between the terminals and IMS, means IP Multimedia Subsystem. Security features for the user authentication, supports the call forwarding, caller ID presentation, restrictions, call waiting, and multi-party conferences. These are the features of VoLTE. Advantages of VoLTE is it delivers all voice and data services over the same network. Hence, it does not require to maintain the infrastructure. For this VoLTE, it provides the voice as well as data services within a network, means in a same network, so that there is no required for to maintain the separate infrastructure. It offers better security as compared to 2G and 3G networks, and it provides rapid call establishment time as compared to 2G and 3G networks. The disadvantages of VoLTE is VoLTE should be supported by handset in order to maintain the VoLTE services. It supports only that handset in order to obtain the VoLTE services. Means the VoLTE features is not available in all mobile handsets. There are one more disadvantages of the VoLTE is that it requires the investment in a network-wide IMS. Here, for the IP multimedia subsystem, it requires the investment in IMS. Hence, this will not available everywhere, and hence roaming could be challenged for some time. If there is no data connection or 4G signaling in the area, user will neither be able to call or not be able to use the internet using the handset, means VoLTE handset. and it supports only by handset in order to obtain the VoLTE services which are present in the handset. Means the VoLTE feature is not available in all mobile handset. This is the drawbacks of the VoLTE. Next point is the next generation of mobile communication. Next generation of mobile communication, that is 5th generation, means 5th generation is the next generation wireless network technology that's expected to change the way people live and work. Means it will be faster than the existing 4G LTE network. And the 5G means 5th generation is the generation currently under the development, means that intended to improve on 4G. 5G promises significantly faster data rates, a higher connection density and much lower density among other improvements. Means speed is faster, data rate is also faster as compared to 4G, and it is a currently under development generation. These are the features of 5th generation. It is 100 times more devices, virtually zero latency, means it is a faster. Latency means it is the time it takes for the data to be transferred between its original source to its destination, which is measured in milliseconds. Means zero latency means it is a faster transmission of a data. Speed up to 10 GB. Yes. Wide range of the applications. Next is a ubiquitous connectivity, means it is present or appearing or found everywhere, means it is a omnipresent. Connectivity is a omnipresent. Next is a more software options to upgrade. Here in a 5G, more software options to upgrade, very high capacity, faster response time. These are the features of the 5th generation. Let us see the next point, that is advantages and disadvantages of 5G. First advantages is longer battery life. Second, that is higher data rates, more efficient and the high security. These are the advantages of 5th generation. And disadvantage, technology is still under the progress and research on its viability is going on. Means the ability to work successfully. Developing the infrastructure needs a high cost, and the security and privacy issue yet to be solved. These are the advantages and disadvantages of 5th generation. Next point is these are the some generation phones. First generation, this is the first generation. Second generation, this is the third generation, fourth generation, and the 5G. Here it provides only the voice services. Here second generation provides the voice and SMS. Means it provides the data services also. It provides the voice, data, video, internet services in third generation, and 4G also provides the video conferencing, internet access, messages, MMS, SMS, voice services, and the 5th generation also supports the all 4 generation features plus extra. Next point is the MAC sublayer. The 802.11 MAC sublayer provides an abstraction of physical layer to the logical link control sublayer and the upper layers of the OSI network, and it is responsible for encapsulating frames and describing the frame formats. Means the IEEE 802.11 defines the two MAC sublayers. First is a distribution coordination function, that is DCF, and second is the point coordination function, that is PCF. Here two MAC sublayers, that is LLC sublayer and the physical layer. Here CSMA-CA, that is carrier sense multiple access with collision avoidance, is the protocol. This is the protocol used to access the method defined by IEEE at the MAC sublayer, and it is called as a DCF, that is distribution coordination function. And the point coordination function is the optional access method. This is the second and the optional access method which is implemented in an infrastructure network and not in an ad hoc network. It is an infrastructure and it is an ad hoc network, and it is implemented on the top of the DCF. It is implemented at the top of DCF. Okay, and is used in a wireless LAN. Here CSMA-CD is cannot implemented because of the following reasons. Because for the collision detection, a station must be able to send data and receive the collision signals at the same time, which increases the bandwidth requirement. And the collision may not be detected because of the hidden station problem. Here, the MAC sublayer contains the PCF and DCF. Above the DCF, PCF layer is there, or PCF function is there in a MAC sublayer, and above the MAC sublayer IEEE 802.11 standard, and it is performed at the data link layer. Okay, here two functions are there in a MAC sublayer. First is the DCF and second is the PCF. It is mandatory function, it is optional function. It uses the CSMA-CA protocol. It is used in a distribution contention based channel access, and it deployed in both infrastructure BSS means basic service set as well as the independent BSS means in a ad hoc network also we can implement it. And PCF it is used in a centralized contention free channel access, and it is deployed in a infrastructure only. For the infrastructure BSS it is implemented, but DCF is implemented at the both sides, both, that is infrastructure BSS and the independent BSS, that is ad hoc network. This infrastructure BSS and the means basic service set and the ad hoc network, we already discussed this point in a previous lectures. Okay. Next point is the MAC frame structure or frame format of 802.11 WLAN architecture. The MAC layer frames consist of 9 fields. The following figure shows the basic structure of IEEE 802.MAC data frame along with the content of a frame control field. Here, frame control is the FC field which is of a 2 bytes long and defines the type of a frame and some control information, and the subfields of the FC, that is here this is the subfields of a FC, that is protocol version, type, subtype, to DS, from DS, more flags, retry, power management, more data, WEP, and the order. WEP means wired equivalent privacy, means for the encryption purpose it is implemented. Here let us see the theory of this. All points means it contains these sublayers. Means MAC layer frame structure or frame format contains these points, that is frame control, duration ID, addresses. There are 4 addresses in a frame structure. SC field means a sequence control. Next is the data field, and the CRC means the FCS field. Let us see one by one. Here FC control is of 2 bytes. Here it is 2 byte field which defines the frame and some control information. It defines frame as well as some control information, and various subfields are present in the FC, that is protocol version. First of all, version. It is of 2 bits. These fields are in a bytes and these fields are in a bits. Here protocol version is a 2 bits long, which indicates the current protocol version, which is fixed to be 0 for now. Means current version, that is 0, and it is a fixed. Next point is a type. Here type is a 2-bit long field which determines the function of the frame. Means it is a management, or it is a control, or it is data field. Data type means the value 11, it is a reserved. Means type of information. Suppose it is management information, control information, or data information, etc. Next is a subtype. means it is a 4 bits data field which indicates the subtype of the frame, like 0000 for association request and 1000 for the beacon, means subtype of each type. 2DS means defined a letter. 2DS means it is a 1 bit long field which when sets indicates that destination frame is for a DS, means distribution system. From DS means the defined letter. It is also defined letter. It is a 1 bit long field which when set indicates a frame coming from the DS. It is coming from the DS. Next is a more flag. More flag or a more fragments, we can say that a more fragments. It is a 1 bit long field which when set to 1, suppose it is set to 1, means the frame is followed by the other fragments. It is followed by the other fragments. Next is a retry. When it is set to 1, means the retransmission of the frame. Suppose it is a 1 bit field. Retry is also 1 bit long field, and if the current frame is a retransmission of the earlier frame, this bit is set to 1. Next is the power management. Means power management, it is 1 bit long field which indicates the mode of the station after successful transmission of the frame. It is set to 1. Suppose it is set to 1. The field indicates that the station goes into the power save mode. It is goes into the power save mode. And if the field is set to 0, the station stays active. Okay. Next is the more data. More data, in this field, it is also 1 bit long field which is used to indicate a receiver that the sender has more data to send than the current frame. This can be used by access point to indicate to a station in a power saver mode that more packets are buffered, or it can be used by a station to indicate to an access point after being pulled that more pulling is necessary as station has more data ready to transmit. Means that when it is set to 0, means the station has more data to send. More data means it is set to 0 at that time the station has more data to send. WEP. WEP means the wired equivalent privacy, and it is implemented for the encryption purposes. It is 1 bit long field which indicates that the standard security mechanism of the L0 2.11 is applied. Next is the order. Here order is also 1 bit long field, and if this bit is set to 1, then the value indicating then the received frames must be processed in a strict order. Means it is a reserved field. Okay, this is the subfield of a frame control field. Next is a duration or a ID. It is 4 bytes long field which contains the value indicating the period. Here, it is 2 bytes long field which contains the value indicating the period of time in which the medium is occupied in a milliseconds. Here addresses, there are mainly 4 addresses, address 1, 2, 3 and 4. Here these are the 6 bytes long. Here these fields are the 6 bytes long which contain the standard of IEEE 802. MAC addresses, and the meaning of each address depends on the DS bits in the frame control. It is depends on the DS between the frame control. Okay, SC is the sequence control. It is a 16 bit, means 16 bits means 2 bytes field which consists of 2 subfields. That is sequence number which is of a 12 bit and fragmentation number which is of a 4 bit. Since acknowledgement mechanism frame may be duplicate, hence a sequence number is used to filter the duplicate frames. For filtering the duplicate frames, we give the sequence number. Next is a data. Here it is a variable length field which contains the information specific to individual frame, which is transferred transparently from sender to receiver. This data is transferred from transparently to sender to receiver. Means this field is between 0 to 2312 bytes contains the information based on the type and the subtype defined in the FC field. Next is a CRC, means cyclic redundancy check. It is a 4 bytes long field which contains the 32-bit CRC error detection sequence to ensure the error-free frame. Means this field is used for the error detection. This is all about our MAC sublayer, MAC frame format or frame format of 802.11 WLAN architecture. Let us see. Next point is the theory of this all fields which I already explained in previous lectures. Here type is a 2-bit long field which determines the function of a frame, that is management, control, data and the value which is reserved. Subtype means it is a 4-bit long field which indicates a subtype of the frame like 000 for the association request and 100 for the beacon. 2DS means it is 1-bit field when set indicates when it is set to 1. It indicates that the destination frame is for the DS. It is also 1-bit field which set indicates that frame coming from the DS. Here more fragments, it is a field when it is set to 1 means the frame is followed by the other fragments. Here retry is the current frame is retransmission. For this purpose we set the retry field to 1. Here power management is also 1-bit long field which indicates the mode of the station after successful transmission of the frame, and it is set to 1 field indicating that the station goes into the power save mode. This is also the theory of the frame structure format. Let us see the next point, that is 802.11 frame types. There are mainly 3 types of frames: management frame, control frame and data frame. Here first type is the management frame. These are used for initial communication between station and access point. Next is the control frame. These are used for accessing the channel and the acknowledging frames. And the control frames are RTS and CTS, means request to send and clear to send, that is CTS. CTS means the destination sends a control frame is called as a CTS, and the station sends a control frame's request to send means RTS. Data frame, these are used for carrying the data and the control information. These are the frame types. In the frame structure format, type field which contains the management frame, control and data frame, and one it is for the reserved frame. Next point is the 802.11 addressing mechanism. There are mainly 4 cases which is depending upon the value of to DS and from DS, which is subfields of a FC field. Okay, each flag can be 0 or 1 resulting in the 4 different situations. These are this table shows or specifies the addresses of all 4 cases. Okay, here if to DS is equal to 0 and from DS is equal to 0, it indicates that frame is not going to the distribution center and is not coming from the distribution center. So the frame is going from one station in a BSS to the another station, means it is from the one station to the another station, that is BSS ID. Next point is the if second situation, if to DS is equal to 0 and from DS is equal to 1, it indicating that frame is coming from the distribution system and the frame is coming from an AP and is going to a station. that is the address 3 contains the original sender of the frame in another BSS. Next is if to DS is equal to 1 and from DS is equal to 0, means it indicating that the frame is going to distribution system and the frame is going from the station to an AP. It is going from the station to an AP and the address 3 field contains the final destination of the frame. Next is suppose if 2DS is equal to 1 and from DS is also equal to 1, it indicating that the frame is going from one AP to the another AP in a wireless distribution. Means it is from one AP to the another AP. This is the addressing mechanism of the 802.11 field. Standard. This is all about our today's lecture's point. In this lecture, we discussed the point that is generations of the mobile system and the MAC sublayer, addressing mechanism and the frame structure of a MAC. Here in this way, our 5th chapter, that is wireless communication, is completed here. Thank you.